Hey guys, and welcome back to Morgs Menu. So today we're doing another copycat recipe. I've really been enjoying a lot of these recipes recently just because restaurants are mostly closed or just doing pickup. So I've been cooking at home, and so I've gotten really kind of bored of the normal recipes that we cook. So I've been enjoying trying out all these recipes, so hopefully you guys are enjoying watching them as well. So today is going to be another fast food copycat recipe, and we're actually going to be doing copycat KFC. Now, originally I was thinking, classic fried chicken, but a lot of the copycat recipe videos I've done recently, like the Chick-fil-A one and the Wendy's one, have been some sort of fry and some sort of fried chicken. So I wanted to do something to switch it up a bit, and I recently found a recipe for one of their bowls where it's kind of like mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, and fried chicken. So I figured I'd go ahead and try that. Now, the recipe itself actually only calls for you to just use kind of a normal bag of frozen popcorn chicken, but that'd be way too boring of a video. So what we'll actually be doing is the bowl as well as potato wedges for a side. So I'm going to be following a recipe that's basically meant for a copycat of their chicken tenders and just altering a little bit to make it popcorn chicken done in the air fryer, as well as potato wedges in the air fryer, and then I'll build the other pieces of the ingredients throughout. Pretty simple recipe altogether. It's really just kind of some prep work on the chicken and the fries, and it's not too difficult. So let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we're going to start with the chicken, because they do suggest in the recipe to let that sit in the fridge for 30 minutes before you go ahead and do the full breading process and start frying it. So for that, you actually need buttermilk and just some chicken breast. Now, I don't have buttermilk, as I talked about before. That's just not a staple that I keep in my house. So on the recipe, I actually was reading the comments on it just to make sure, if other people had any suggestions or anything, and some person said that they actually didn't have buttermilk either and just did about a teaspoon of lemon juice and some milk and just did it that way, and it worked really well. So we're just going to go ahead and do that with the milk that we have. So we're basically just going to cut the chicken into little kind of bite-sized popcorn chicken-sized pieces and then soak that in the milk mixture in the fridge for 30 minutes. Alrighty, so now that the chicken is in the fridge with the buttermilk mixture, I'll go ahead and go over all the other ingredients that you're going to need for the rest of the chicken batter, the potato wedges, and then the remaining ingredients for the actual bowl. Alright, so just bringing you in closer here. So the remaining ingredients are going to be from here over for the chicken. So we need some eggs and hot sauce for our wet mixture, and then we're going to need flour, baking powder, smoked paprika, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a little bit of non-stick cooking spray, because I'm doing these in the air fryer. But if you're cooking them and frying them just kind of in a normal frying context, you would use canola oil or some sort of oil. So basically all we have to do for the chicken, as you guys have seen me do with kind of fried chicken before for the air fryer, we're going to take them out of the buttermilk mixture, put them directly in the spices and flour mixture, then put them in the egg and hot sauce mixture, then put them back in the flour mixture. Then we're going to add them directly to our air fryer here, sprayed with some oil, both on the bottom of the air fryer basket, down here, as well as covering the top. So that will be the chicken. Now, the potato wedges we're actually going to cook first. So for those, we're actually going to kind of be breading those as well. That's kind of how you get that traditional, almost KFC type potato wedge. So for that, we're just going to need some basic potatoes that we're going to slice into potato wedges. Now for the potato wedges, we're kind of going to cross some ingredients here. So same thing, we're going to do an egg with a splash of milk mixture for our wet ingredients, and then on our dry ingredients we have flour, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. So for this, you actually don't do the dry first because the potatoes themselves are kind of dry. And you're not really creating a full-on crust like you are for the chicken. So you basically take the potatoes, put them directly into the milk and egg mixture, and then put them in the dry mixture, and then you cook them in a similar sense in the air fryer with the cooking spray. So same kind of thing. In terms of order of how I'll be doing this, I'm going to be doing the potato wedges first and then just throwing those in our toaster oven to keep them warm while the chicken is cooking, but I want to make sure that I cook the potatoes first just so I don't have to worry about cleaning the air fryer since I would be putting raw chicken in it. So we're going to do that first, throw those in the oven, and then do the chicken. Now, as you guys know, if you've seen any of my CopyCat videos before or anything where I use the air fryer, it's very loud. So I'm explaining everything now, and then I'll show you a clip of kind of fast forward of how I do everything, but just wanted to give you a heads up on the ingredients we'll need for those. Now as far as assembling the actual bowls, we're going to need a couple of things. So basically you're just going to need to make some mashed potatoes. So we just have some regular old potatoes here. Now I've showed how I make my mashed potatoes before in my Thanksgiving recipe video, but just kind of a quick synopsis. I basically just slice them. You can peel them if you want, but I just cut them up into kind of small dices, add them to a pot with cold water, turn that on. Once the water is boiling, then you let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many potatoes you have and how big your dices are. Once they're soft, you go ahead and mash them with a little bit of butter, sour cream, and of course some salt and pepper. So that'll be a bottom layer. Then we're going to top the chicken once it's done on top of that. We're also going to include some corn. So this is just some normal frozen corn. You could use canned, frozen, or if you want to get fancy and peel it off the cob, you could do that. And then it also needs some gravy. Now I would try and make my own, but with everything else that's going to be going on in this recipe, I'm just going to use this nice little packaged gravy and mix it with water for our gravy, and then top everything with a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese. So that's all the ingredients that we're going to need. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and prep up the potato wedges, get those started, and we'll start with the mashed potatoes. Once these are done in the air fryer, we'll go with the chicken, and then we'll put everything together. Alright, so here is the final product, the bowls. Now, you can't really see the gravy or mashed potatoes, but they are at the bottom. And then we have the chicken, corn on top, as well as our shredded cheddar cheese. And then over here we have our potato wedges. They got really nice and crispy. I'm really excited for the seasoning that's on those. And then just some extra chicken over here that I couldn't fit in the bowls because I made entirely too much chicken, but nobody ever complained about too much fried chicken. So here's the final product. Everything looks really, really good. I'm really excited for how all the batter on everything turned out. So definitely recommend these recipes. I'll list the exact steps of what I did down below, as well as the recipes I kind of followed as a guide to get me started, but I did make some modifications throughout. So I'll make sure to list exactly what I did down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any other copycat recipe videos you want me to do, make sure you leave those in comments down below. If you're new here and haven't yet subscribed, make sure you go and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks again for watching Morgs Menu, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.